We are in Strokestown Park, home to the National Famine Museum. We're here in County Roscommon, Ireland. Strokestown Park House, the National Famine Museum, is an Irish Heritage Trust property. When somebody visits, they can get a tour of Strokestown House. Strokestown House was home to the Mahan family, Paquin Mahan family later, home to Dennis Mahan, the landlord during the Great Irish Famine. The house is preserved and stocked in time with all of its original contents. So people get to go through the rooms, get the story of the family. And then when they come out of the house, they cross the yards and go into the National Irish Famine Museum and they get another story. The story of the tenant, those people living outside the walls of the estate. Two completely different stories, but two stories that are so linked. The story here in Strokestown is quite a unique one. Major Dennis Mahan inherited Strokestown Park House and the grounds in 1845. He inherited a debt-ridden estate, many rent strikes, the beginning of the famine. Because he had inherited such an issue with this estate, he began an eviction and immigration policy. He began to clear his lands of people. At one point he chartered famine ships and he gathered 1,490 of his tenants, men, women and children, about 295 families. He gathered them in Strokestown and he walked them from Strokestown to Dublin, along the Royal Canal, from Dublin to Liverpool and from Liverpool to Quebec. By the time they arrived at the quarantine station on the island of Groseal, more than a third of them had died on the journey. Word came back to Strokestown about this, and shortly after that, in November of 1847, Major Dennis Mahan was assassinated just outside of the estate here, the first landlord assassinated in Ireland during the Great Irish Famine. It's history. We also have to look, here in the museum we always consider what's happening in the world today. We, the Irish, were the immigrants crossing the seas in the middle of the 1800s. So we have to consider the plight of those people today. All of those immigrants who need help, need to be welcomed, need to be looked after. I think that's a message from the museum and I think it's very important.